They left the operating room. Sound is recording. Yes, the waveform's moving. The hallway took them around several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked.
Here too, huh? Every door in this place is locked up tight.
How about that one?
The final door was hidden in a corner of the hall. That's not very hidden, really,
May as well
but
give it a try.
Junpei grabbed the handle, and as he made to push it open, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover.
Jumpy!
Huh?
He spun around. He saw someone running toward him from the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions.
June? And Santa? And Lotus too?
They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
What are you doing here?
What? But we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys! Could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Look on the wall here.
There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway.
A map of the ship's interior?
It says C deck.
So it's the map for this floor then?
Door 7. And... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
In fact,
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
I see.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. Hey, could this lead to...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness.
Oh!
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
Yeah.
They moved as one for the door.
Oh, almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall and put it in his pocket and followed the others. The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
Slowly, all 5 nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back.
Home sweet home.
In the hospital room.
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8. You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
Gotta say, you've woken up very quickly for someone who cranked an entire bottle of anesthetic. Oh, he looked like anyone might after only just waking up, but it seemed his brain was working as well as ever. He'd managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
7 smiled.
Anyway, I say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Oh, the solar system keys. We found a couple more in the laboratory in the kitchen. Here, the Earth key and the Saturn key card.
And with that, she pressed them into Junpei's hand. The metal key had the Earth symbol on it, and the key card had the Saturn symbol on it.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
You don't have many places to put them, so that's fair.
Yeah. On it.
Junpei felt slightly less than honored.
Now we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room. The Earth key that Lotus just gave me.
I gotta be honest, must we summarize the 3 keys that we literally just talked about seconds ago?
And the Saturn keycard that Lotus said was in the kitchen.
Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs,
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard to come out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
But what if there's more keys?
There is a point. At least there is for me.
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at 7 as hard as she could just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There was a man alive who would... There wasn't a man alive who would have resisted those eyes. 7 looked everywhere in the room except at Clover and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry.
There could also literally be more keys in there. Presumably Zero had laid all the keys out ahead of time, so there's no reason to think there wasn't some behind door 3 as well.
Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So 7, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Me?
Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7, and 1, 2, 3. It looked like 7 was doing them too. At last, he gave up.
Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
Alright, let's get moving.
Do I not get the choice to go? And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3. But I want to see what's behind door
Okay,
3.
we're heading out.
Guess we'll have to do that on another loop.
Be careful.
Oh. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
7 nodded, as if this answer made much more sense, and pulled the lever on the red.
Okay, we're off.
The door opened, and Ace, Clover, and 7 jumped through it. Have fun doing the puzzles. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving.
Where are we going?
What do you mean? We're just gonna wait around here instead of going to use the keys? Everyone except Lotus seemed rather confused.
Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
They were at the end of the hallway lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Hold on. That is all working, right? Yes. I'm just very paranoid.
Yeah, on it.
Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. And Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in the tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom with a massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
You know we have 2 more keys now, Santa. Shut the fuck up.
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we?
Are you a goldfish? What the fuck are you talking about? You know we have 2 more keys now.
I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
I hate you. Of course there's a reason, you fucking clown.
Of course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
Huh?
This.
Junpei pulled two things out of his pockets. You know,
The Saturn key card.
these things we talked about like 30 seconds ago.
And the Earth key? I'm lost.
I hate you so much. What do you mean you're lost? Hello? Excuse me? Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments, during which it became apparent Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him.
Don't you remember, Santa? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember?
I like how she's explaining it like he's a small child. Now, Santa, don't you remember the big elevators?
And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think. So the two keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
That's right. Yes. Ooh, good boy. Good boy.
Yes, that's right.
June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into two teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you two can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their initial search should be
We
brief.
have no idea what's on the other side of these, so don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
Plan decided, the two teams split it up. Junpei and June headed for the
There's
elevators.
a card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
A light on the upper left corner blinked to life.
Great! It looks like it's working now.
All right, now how do I call the elevator?
There was a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
I guess there's no up button. Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down.
It opened! Look, Jumpy!
That is the least inviting elevator I've ever seen in my life. June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened! Let's get going.
He grinned at June and stepped toward the open door. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm.
Wait!
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
Claustrophobic? I understand. Me too. Would you like to hear an anecdote about EDT? That might make you feel better. Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? June was probably afraid of... They could only go down, I guess. Yeah, I would have guessed claustrophobia, personally. Neither of these were the first thing that came to mind. She was afraid because the elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on A or B decks near the central staircase. All of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D-deck, is completely underwater.
Well, at least that part of it. We have no reason to believe the entire deck is underwater.
An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right. They are.
She looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Test it.
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only two, E and C. All right, I'll push E.
He pushed the E button and jumped out of the elevator. The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down.
think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few moments later, the elevator returned. Tremendous.
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen. See?
Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, they're not the same deck. D deck could be sealed off, and there's nothing to say all of D deck is submerged.
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration. You've had that this whole time? This is news to me.
I see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his pocket.
So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright?
But...
Come on, just do it, alright?
He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze, then hopped onto the elevator. He pushed the E button and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision, when suddenly...
I'm coming with you!
Huh?
I mean, there is, like, no reason she can't. At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Hey, wait!
I mean, she's very capable of just calling the elevator back up once we go down anyway. It's not like you can actually stop her. Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late. The elevator comes back up anyway. The elevator comes back up, Junpei. The door had shut, and he and June were in the elevator as it headed down to E deck. He was so surprised by June that he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on the E deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
The elevator stopped and the door slid open. They tentatively stepped out and looked around.
It looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish lazily floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish, or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth a tiny, intense frown. What the fuck was that noise that you just made?
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was obvious, but...
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
Well, we'll die, but let's not think about that, yeah? Junpei thought about that for a moment.
We'd probably die.
Yeah.
Oh no. Don't be so casual about something like that.
I mean, we're gonna die in like 5 hours anyway, so...
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then...
Junpei glanced around the room they'd found themselves in. The first thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. Would you like to try and tear these down as well by any chance? Granted, it does look like we could climb over the top of them if we really wanted to. That looks like a pretty big gap. They ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right one.
Iron bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then maybe...
In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an opening.
Well...
He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner.
It looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Well, well, well.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that...
Whatever could it be?
Let's check.
Junpei and June set off down the hall at a brisk clip, somewhere between a run and a jog. As if we can't just clearly see what's at the end, but before long they found themselves in front of the door. On it was a number written in bright red paint. 6.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door.
Great job, team. And indeed, there was a red bolted to the wall right next to them, so presumably there's another one behind the door that the other two went through as well.
But we can't do anything with only the two of us.
We better head back and let everyone know.
Yes.
Junpei and June turned and head back to the sea deck.
Wait, what's this?
On their way back, Junpei noticed a map on the wall.
Is this the map for Edek? I should take it with me.
Do you want to show me that real quick? No? Okay.
Huh, so you guys found door 1.
They met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they'd found. Apparently there was another numbered door on A deck, just like the one on E deck, beyond the door that the Earth Key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door.
So now we've located 2 new doors. The 6th door and the 1 door.
That was a lot of words to recap what Junpei had just conveyed in one sentence, but you know.
You know, it is interesting that Edek wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought.
Well, we don't really know if all of Edek is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
I don't really know why you're so surprised. Like, the ship is supposed to be sinking at a controlled rate, so obviously there must be things blocking off major parts of the ship from flooding.
Even so, it's still very interesting.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Granted, I don't actually think we're on a boat. I think that's just bait. I think we're actually in, like, some sort of controlled space, but, you know.
Yes.
Otherwise, there'd be no reason to bolt all the windows, but...
And that means Zero planned all this out. Even the sinking.
Yep. What the fuck do you mean? Yes, obviously he did. We're just realizing that now? The E-deck not being flooded is the linchpin that revealed the whole thing that this was planned?
That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
Nah, it's just a big DIY project. He's been doing it himself in his garage.
It would have been a ton, that's for sure.
Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Yes, it does make sense.
That thought made them all go quiet for a moment. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
June looked up at Junpei with large, pleading
Yeah,
eyes.
you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind?
Blah, 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 yeah, math.
Just kidding. All right, let's go.
Lotus's words were all the impetus. Impetuous, I was about to say. What the fuck? Back to the large hospital room they went. The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
Oh, you know. It was 7.
7?
So what's going on? What happened to Clover? Oh, she's okay. Okay, that's pleasantly surprising. So what happened behind door number 3? Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, though she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
It looked as though there was something strange about them. 7 had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost, Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment they simply stood there, looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at 7.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
Well, I'm not psychic. 7 was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. His shoulders were trembling, and his voice was strained.
Snake is...
Oh. Oh, well, that's rough, buddy. 7 couldn't finish. He just looked away, his face twisted by Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is dead. He died, just as the 9th man did.
All exploded. Well, are you sure it's Ace then? Because there wasn't much of the 9th man left behind. It was as if all the air had suddenly sucked out of the room. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel sweat beading on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All three were frozen in place, their faces white.
God, that's not true, is it?
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door.
Wait, not that way.
What? Why not?
They stopped short and turned to look at 7. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is he?
The shower room. The left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Their new destination cleared, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it was easy to spot the metal door on the left
This
wall.
wasn't open when we passed here before.
But now, just as 7 had said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it open.
Well, let's keep going.
They looked at it for a moment, then stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air, so thick they could almost taste it. It was sour, and smelled of fish, feces, and burnt meat. Delicious. Just like Mom used to make. It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down to his throat to pound against the entrance to his stomach. He put his hand over his mouth and struggled to keep what little it was in his stomach where it belonged.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
So, like, there's some letters written on the wall. They didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
There was blood everywhere, a few arms of the splatter reaching toward them as they walked in through the door. There's letters written on the wall, though. So, this is not blood. This is not natural blood splatter. All one had to do was follow the many radial arms to their source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider.
June, you should stay here.
But
Please, just do me a favor, okay? Alright?
He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned, and walked toward the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
It felt like an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually they reached the divider. They looked at one another slowly. Junpei put his hand on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in that instant that he would take the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck where as they dried. Globes of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it.
Just like Ace said.
Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had been split open, exposing painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in
Oh,
pieces.
the face. It's horrible.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
So it's not Snake. So you can't read the display on the numbered bracelet, and you can't make out his face. This isn't Snake. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the grey slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
No, it's not. I don't believe it for a second. If you can't make out any of the key identifying factors of his face, it's not him. Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained. Junpei heard it catch in her throat. No, I don't believe it. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. I've never assumed a ghost would sound metallic, personally. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 of them. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. That is indeed the group. Seven looked at each of them in turn and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it. Alone. And waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. Snake was the only one who went through the door. And then, 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Shouldn't we be able to reason that out based on the number on the door?
Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
Yeah, that means anybody could be a killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
But shouldn't there only be like, I'm not gonna do the math. Shouldn't there be a finite combination of people that can actually open the door? Because we know Snake has to be one of them.
How can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
Well, not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know?
What Zero wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes. Almost certainly Zero himself. If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us.
This all seems very reasonable, but like the fact you're saying it kind of makes me suspicious of you, because this just seems like an unnaturally calm reaction for the people involved.
Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Good question.
Junpei hadn't really considered that.
If Zero killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
Zero is probably still one of us, but... Junpei. Was Zero still on the ship with them? Of course. Of course he was. That was obvious.
But I don't...
Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Junpei had no idea where. He's in the room with us. Or maybe not, maybe it's Snake, who knows? I don't think that body's Snake. Junpei mumbled to himself, lost in thought.
Where could Zero be hiding?
Literally anywhere else. I'm sure he's in the room, but literally anywhere. Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghostly moaning noise. The people involved make such weird assumptions. I don't know why they just assumed Zero wasn't here until this point. Like, I don't know, I kind of just always assumed he'd be on the ship. And moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone.
I think Zero is one of us.
Yeah, real. That's so real. Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of the jailer. But who? Was he one of them? That's possible.
Well, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
No reason. I've got a great reason.
And what's that?
The bracelets.
He held out his left arm.
Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet?
You got a point.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Seven, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero. Hence, Zero is one of us. Seven and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Just for the love of the game.
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh, well, that's because...
Just for the love of the game. Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea.
I don't know.
These death game people, you know, they just always love being involved, right? Like the twist ending of Saw, the dead body in the middle of the room. That was Jigsaw the whole time. He never had to cough even once, despite having lung cancer. You know. Lotus sighed.
So much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
Was it lung cancer? He had cancer. Was it lung cancer? I don't remember. Either way.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. Then in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. Seven, Clover, Junpei, I know how you feel. But you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another.
You're right, but
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. Seven and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
our next destination is Mercury.
Maybe you and June should check it out first and then report back to us.
All right, let's go, June.
Right. Here it is.
It sat bolted to a wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen between the two elevators.
The Mercury card reader.
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
Yeah,
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think Seven said something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Indeed, as expected, Junpei slid the card through the reader. The light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic noise.
I guess the elevator works now.
Jumpy, I know it's only the two of us, but let's do our best.
What's with you all of a sudden?
I mean, we're just gonna find another numbered door.
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Oh. First, we need to find
Okay.
out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just like we did before.
I mean, it's probably gonna be on the other side of that grate, but you know.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Let's go.
Yes.
Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and June stepped into the elevator.
Look! Nearly all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Yeah. Well, let's try it out.
There's a button all for me. Wow. Junpei hit the bottom button, otherwise known as the prostate. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward.
So this is the bottom deck.
They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 25 and 20 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end. But not a regular dead end.
Over there.
This is a numbered door.
This is the 8th one we found. There were 2 numbered doors on vehicle
Yeah.
3 more in
We
the
get
door
it, we get it,
streets.
we get it.
And the door we found on E deck, it was a...
We get it, we get it. Yeah. And now door 2 stood in front of
means-
Junpei.
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think the next one's gonna be door 9.
Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
You don't look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Let's head back.
Okay.
He did his best to put it from his mind and headed back to C deck with June.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
The pieces of paper they'd folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. Everyone had written on paper pulled from Junpei's notebook book in an effort to pull together a blind vote.
Just double checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why are we doing this? Why had they decided to vote that way?
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. That would allow people to force others to go through certain doors.
Yeah, quiet in the peanut gallery.
And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he did his best to act calm as he began to open and read the pieces of paper.
All right, let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
He opened the second
Next
one.
is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Junpei continued with the third, fourth, and fifth pieces.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
Wow, you fucking bitch. 7's the most normal one here.
No, there'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But no.
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
Okay.
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
Yeah. Just about. Your pants only have to go down like a centimeter, and you're giving the whole thing away.
Barely.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
You're right.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
What the fuck are you talking about? She looks like she's in her 20s.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
There they go. Lotus's hair flared out like the mane of an angry lion, and she...
Oh, not good.
Let go! Let go of me! I'm killing him!
With some difficulty... Ronald, please. With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the 6th piece of paper. He opened it.
June wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
And what could be a more valid reason? All of the papers saying Junpei's had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head.
So this was everyone's vote. Ace and Clover requested door 1.
That was the door on A deck near the central staircase.
7 and Lotus requested door 2.
That was the door on the bottom deck and could be reached by taking the elevator.
Santa and June requested door 6.
That was the door on E deck and could be reached by taking the elevator near the
The
central
door I
staircase.
should choose is...
It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7th piece of paper and spoke.
Okay, the last one is mine. I want to go through...
2's my favorite number, so...
My choice is door 2.
Santa was unconvinced.
Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating?
Cheating?
I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what doors we wanted.
How could I do that? I wrote it down on the paper earlier.
Let me see that.
Sure, here.
Junpei shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. The others peered at it as well. As they did, Junpei quickly slipped the piece of paper he'd been hiding into his pocket. Although he'd never know it now, Santa had been justified in his suspicions. Junpei had switched papers.
I had 3 pieces of paper ready.
Spud, holy shit, you scared the shit out of me. I just saw my cat looming out of my peripheral vision. I had 3 pieces of paper ready. For doors 1, 2, and 6.
And I put the one with door 6 on it into the pot.
He put a small mark on it so that he would know which one was his.
I just needed to make sure I drew last. After I saw everyone else's result, I just chose whatever door I wanted. If the number I'd already put in matched, then I didn't have to switch the paper out. Well, what does it say?
He fought the urge to smirk.
You got lucky.
Santa snorted and tossed the paper aside, frustrated.
All right. So we know who's going through door 2. It'll be me, Lotus, and Junpei. The only problem's the other 2 teams.
June and I want door 6.
Clover and I choose door 1.
That's not good. We can't open either of those doors with only 2 people.
Everyone was silent. Then suddenly Clover spoke, her face blank and cold.
Why don't Santa and June go into door 1 with Ace?
Huh?
Well,
They looked at one another. Blah, 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 math, math, math. Finally, Ace spoke.
And what will you do, Clover?
I'll be waiting at the stairs. You guys are coming back here, right? That's what 7 was saying, wasn't it?
That had been what 7 said.
We aren't going to be split up permanently. We might get separated for
Yeah.
That's how
We
it's gonna
remember,
be.
we remember.
I'm sorry, but I just want to be by myself for a while.
Valid.
You understand, right?
There was no emotion on her face, but it was drawn and pale, and her eyes were red. No one had the heart to contradict her. The room was very quiet. Silence drifted over everything like a blanket of fresh snow. It was Santa who finally spoke.
all right. I'm going through door 1. That all right with you, June?
Yes.
June nodded.
Well, we'll be going then.
Let's move 2.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been with Seven the whole time. Let's go. And just like that, their paths were set.
I won't see June for a while, but this was my choice. I'm just going to have to suck it up. Seven said we'd all see each other again, and I'm going to believe that.
He took strength from that thought.
The other group went to A deck to go through door 1. Clover joined them. Our group is on our way too. We're heading to the bottom deck using the elevators.
I mean, how could I not pick the elevator that was on my deck, right? They stepped off the elevator and headed for door 2.
We ready?
Yeah, any?
I'll go first.
One by one, they put their palms on the recognition device, and 3 asterisks blinked to life on its screen.
Let's go!
The door opened, and they leapt inside.
Where the hell is it this time?
I don't see it!
Oh, there it is! It's right there!
Fortunately, it only took them moments to find the dead. It had been placed just inside the room, right next to the numbered door. They gathered around it and quickly scanned each of the bracelets.
It stopped.
Yeah, it stopped.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Seven and Lotus were breathing hard and fast.
Man, I'll never get used to that.
Doesn't it make you feel alive, though, Seven?
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to.
Doesn't it get the blood pumping?
We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Damn right.
Alright,
Junpei looked around again.
this hallway's pretty short, but it's got 5 doors. 3 on the left, and only 1 on the right.
Don't forget the last one at the end of the hall.
But it's got a metal plate over it, so I doubt we're gonna get anywhere that way.
After taking a look around the room himself, Seven spoke.
Alright, let's get started. I think we'd probably better split up. You okay with that?
Yes, no problem.
Sure thing.
Then I'll take this first one.
Seven nodded to them and stepped into the room closest to him.
I'll try the one next to it.
At last, Junpei was alone.
Well, I guess I'd better get started too.
He looked intently at the remaining 3 doors. Alright. Puzzle time. The real game. Wonderful. What's the deal with the lighting here? There's just this one beam of light. The rest of the place is too dark. I can't see anything. There's no way we can explore the rest of this room. Well, that simplifies things somewhat, I suppose. Emergence. There are a bunch of tiles on the door to spell out emergence. Oh, we're back together again immediately, huh? Maybe we need to emerge out of here. Okay. What the hell is this supposed to be? Like a drawing of a whirlpool or something? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it's trying to look like water. Turn the sink on. We got a little doodad. There's a tile stuck in the drain. Looks like the water doesn't work. Doesn't matter how much Seven turns the thing, no water's coming out. Has the water been shut off from somewhere else? There's a little tile in the drain. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to pull it out of there. Maybe we have to use our heads on this one. Alright, let's figure this thing out. Round here. A toilet paper tube, huh? I seriously doubt we're gonna need this for anything. You never know, dog. This part is thinner than the rest. In fact, this doesn't really look like it's part of the rest of this thing. This rod feels loose. Maybe if I give it a couple turns. Here we go. Screwdriver shaft. Delightful. What about the toilet? Well, hello there. A symbol on the toilet lid, huh? Seems a little fishy to me. It's a sun symbol, but it doesn't look like the ones on the doors. What about in the bowl? Damn, this toilet's pretty nasty to begin with, but the inside's even worse. Honestly, I'm amazed you could bring yourself to touch it. Huh. There's way nastier stuff out there in the world than a gross toilet. You're a real deep thinker, aren't you? Good talk, team. Good talk. The bed. There's a dirty blanket on the bed. Man, this is a mess. It's not even a bed anymore. Can't say I'd want to sleep there. Please pull the blanket back. Whatever. Can we look under it? Guess not. Alright. What we got here? Huh? What the hell? It's not opening. There's something up with this drawer. I don't trust it. Screws. There's a pair of screws screwed into the desk, right on top of the drawer. Doesn't matter how old this thing is, we're gonna have a tough time if we just try and break it open. It's probably gonna be a pain, but I think we need to figure out a way to get those screws off. If only we were holding some manner of tool that could do that. Are you seriously gonna make me find the handle for the screwdriver? You absolutely could just use that. But, you know, whatever. Well, well, well. Somebody made some wavy blue lines on this mirror with blue paint. Is that a drawing of a blue scarf? Maybe not. It's a river. You know, goes with the whirlpool. The drain's kind of a weird shape for a drain. You think they made this shape for a reason or just for fun? There's no knob on this faucet. There's no way we can get the water out of it like this. If we can find a knob or something that'll work as one, then we should be able to get the water to come out of this thing. This paper seems pretty old. Ew, how the hell can you touch that? It's horrible. Well, it's not like I really got a choice, do I? It's not like I want to. Flush it. It's just hanging from the wall. Well, if we're pulling the string, then it must be a toilet that flushes. The moon. Pull it. Okay. A moon. What a filthy, disgusting moon. Yeah, it's pretty filthy, but it's a precious hint. Let's remember it all, alright? I refuse to touch this. I refuse. What the hell's wrong with you? I don't want to touch it ever. That's valid. Well, well, wow. That bed looks cold. Pretty sure you'd freeze to death in winter. No kidding. If I tried to sleep here, my skin would dry out in no time. Well, it's not like you're that young anymore. That shouldn't really matter. Guys, you know, she does not look old. My Junpei, aren't you lucky? It seems you'll die before you have a chance to grow old and hideous. I'm sorry, you're right. Dry skin is a woman's worst enemy. Towel. Cool. This bed looks even sadder without the pillow. So it's still a terrible bed. I'd never sleep on a bed like that. Well, hello there. There's nothing in the drawer. Yeah, something's not right, though. That handle on the drawer doesn't really fit, you know? It just looks messy. Yeah, it's almost like it's the faucet. We're taking the whole fucking thing. Alright. Oh, hello. The bottom do be looking a little, glass light. So there's a mirror on the other side of this drawer. Interesting. It's kind of an odd shape, and it looks like someone's attached the handle with a screw after the fact. Yeah, please remove it. Okay, fine. So, well. You just barely see a mirror. You can just barely see a mirror from the light coming through the ceiling. Sure, it'd be nice if that mirror was a little lower down. Looks like it's the same height as the mirror on the right. I wonder if that means anything. Oh, so you can see this, huh? This mirror seems really high. In fact, it's so high, it's kind of hard to see your reflection in it. Yeah, It's a sink, but there's no light shining on it. It's hard to be sure because it's so dark in here, but I don't think there's anything going on with the sink. The faucet is too hard to turn. Okay. Light's barely enough to see by. I feel like I'm gonna see a ghost here or something. It's a blanket. Okay, good talk, good talk. We're making great progress here. Ah! God damn it. No matter how hard I pull on this thing, it won't budge. It doesn't look like it's got a keyhole, and there doesn't seem to be anything stopping it. How the hell am I supposed to open it? May we please use this mirror on the light or something? Oh yeah, we can probably use this mirror to reflect the light. Now I just gotta figure out where to reflect the light. Maybe if I go somewhere that's a little easier to shine light on. No, please. When I shine the mirror in the back... Is that a number? So if I shine a light on this mirror, then I get to see some numbers. A 4 and a 7. 4 and 7. Sun, moon. I get it. If I shine a light on the mirror, symbols appear. The left has a sun and the right has a moon. I'm gonna remember this. So, so sun is 4, moon is 7. Gotcha. You want to shine some light there? Shine some light on that? Cool, cool. Alright. So, I guess we should, you know, let's be diligent. Wonder where it goes. I thought of that and tried a couple things, but yeah, same result. Guess 7 wasn't about to do anything. Oh, well. So, now what? This is not... If I consult the sink that's missing the faucet, will you please make the connection? There's no knob on the faucet. If I... Yeah, okay. So... I'm running out of things to interact with. Could we interact with that stool? The chair is pretty old. 7 sat on it, probably break. Huh? You say something? Nothing at all. Alright, what? Nope, not that one. What about this one, though? That looks like a chair for prisoners. It's rusty. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of help. Isn't that obvious? Look, I don't want to touch anything unless I have to. Lotus is not having this. Does she really not want to be in this room that bad? So... this looks like part of the design in the towel. Do you think that means anything? On the towel, it looks like the water is flowing from the river to the spring. Do you think that means we need to make water flow from here? Yeah, that seems entirely reasonable. But nobody wants to use the screwdriver without the handle. So, you know, we're having some problems right now. Oh wait, can we flush this? Okay, this handle's pretty loose. Loose? You think it'll come off if you pull on it? Oh, okay. This handle doesn't really fit onto the string. Maybe it wasn't meant to be attached to it. Fantastic news. Yep. You miss one interactable and it all falls apart. Alright, please unscrew this. Sweet, got the screws off. Now we can open the drawer. There's nothing in here. Well, maybe the drawer's what we need. The drawer, huh? Alright, let's yank this thing out. So we got something on the back here. There's a bump on the back. I wonder what it's for. Maybe there's a hole somewhere and these bumps line up with it and trigger a hidden switch or something. Hey, we've seen weirder stuff. Doesn't seem that far-fetched. Alright, now... also, please remove this. If I use the screwdriver on the center of the handle, maybe I can. Great. Now back to the other room. Sweet. The handle I got off the drawer fits onto the faucet perfectly. Now I can turn the water on. Junpei, what are you doing? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm running the water. I can see that. I'm asking you why you're just letting it run like that. Think about it, Lotus. This faucet didn't have a knob when we found it, right? I had to take it off the drawer. What do you mean? Just watch. Anytime now. Hey, water's filling up. Does that just mean the pipes are clogged? Whoops, let's turn it off for now. So, did anything change? The water stopped flowing. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Ugh, Junpei, I'm leaving this with you, alright? Now, well, is there anything with the water? Sink's filled with water. Alright. Back to the other room. Has this sink changed? Yes. We got a tile. Excellent news. This sure do be looking like a pattern. It's got like a 14 on it. So we've got this tile. It's got these red, blue, and gray lines. What the heck does this stuff mean? Hell if I know. Can we combine this with the one with the bumps on it? No. What about that one? Okay. Junpei put the wet tile into his pocket. He was about to turn away when there was a noise behind him.
What the?
He spun around to see 7 kneeling on the floor. His face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead.
Hey, what's going on? Are you okay, man?
I mean, this happened once before.
You're sweating like crazy. Are you all right?
He was concerned. He'd never seen 7 like this before. We have, haven't we? Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a little dizzy, that's all.
His face was pale and his breathing was heavy. Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt.
That's definitely more than just a little dizzy. Are you sure? You don't look so good.
Seven didn't answer. Half of his face was twisted as if distorted by extreme pain, and his eyes were glazed. Finally, he spoke.
What am I doing here?
Huh?
His words made no sense. They make perfect sense. We know he's got memory loss.
What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot.
No, that's not what I mean.
He shook his head several times as if trying to clear something from
It
it.
ain't much, but I think some of my memories came back. I think I've been here before.
Well, you are dressed in a very nautical manner, you know?
Huh?
I said I've been in this room before.
You were here? When? Why?
Aoi. Like, Nona.
Uh-huh. Suddenly Seven was mumbling to himself. There were words Junpei didn't understand. Well, their names, you know, probably. Seven's hoarse voice trailed off and Junpei couldn't make out what he'd said.
What the hell was that?
Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his teeth back and forth.
It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't.
Seven stopped, frustrated. He pulled his hat off and ran a hand through his hair. Then suddenly he looked up, his eyes wide.
That's right, an experiment. There was some kind of experiment going on this ship.
An experiment? What sort of experiment?
They were trying to control people. Or something like that.
Okay.
What the hell are you talking about?
Junpei didn't know what to make of Seven's story. Instead, he simply stared at Seven as Seven continued.
Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were in the experiment, I mean. I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here.
Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. He looked confused. So far as Junpei could tell, the man was simply rambling, and there were odd twitches to his movement.
Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Ooh, like Umbrella? Let's go.
Those kidnapped kids. Was I working that case?
Oh, are you a detective? Seven continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei.
Huh?
Junpei didn't have any answers for him, of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. Junpei's not very smart, is he? It's pretty obvious what's happening to Seven right now. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped.
Wait, under this bed.
See, I knew we should have looked under the fucking bed. He crouched down and looked under the bed. His face registered mild surprise, and he began to mumble to himself again.
The home's gone? No, maybe it was a different room. There's gotta be a ton of rooms on this boat that look just like this one.
At last, Junpei couldn't contain himself no longer.
Hey, what exactly do you remember? Maybe you could stop talking like a crazy person and tell me what's going on here.
Do you have another anecdote, perhaps, to tell me? Seven stood up slowly.
Well, it's not like I really remember everything. I've only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered and don't make much sense.
I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then.
Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important. Very important.
Okay.
Seven drew a large, muscled hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke.
From what I can remember, I think I was a cop.
A cop?
Yeah.
A nautical cop?
I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago. You remember that, right? It was all over the news.
Oh, an anecdote.
Yeah, I was still in school. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it. I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. It was all over TV and the newspapers every day. So you're saying you were investigating it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I guess I found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals that had something to do with those kids. After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. I think it was...
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Ooh, maybe we are on a boat.
Yeah, that had to been it. That's why I went to the wharf.
Oh, look at this cool fucking dude. Holy shit, in the fucking bright yellow jacket for his stealth mission? Let's go.
In the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags. Bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. They were human beings in those bags. I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand. Don't move. I felt metal touch the back of my head. Drop the gun. He kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. Did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck. A needle. A drug? That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink.
Bro rocking the fucking Kiryu fit.
A toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop.
There's a partition.
I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but... it won't open. Not like I expected much else. Would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed. And sat down. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice. The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying. But I could hear one. It was pretty high. Probably a little kid. Huh? No, it was several. I hear 5 or 6, maybe more. Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit, but I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from. Hold up. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. Then... Yeah! How do you like that, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, you tell him.
I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face. So I wiped it off and crawled inside.
That looks like a tight fit. Junpei waited for Seven to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that Seven had no intention of doing so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank.
Hey, what happened after that?
He waited long enough, but Seven shook his head.
I don't remember what happens after that. I think I found some kind of door out of the duct. And I think I found some kids, too. Not good. Why can't I remember what happened next?
Ah, man, what happened to the kids, Seven? Did you save them?
I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I've got this feeling. I think one of the kids died. A girl, I think.
Huh?
Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. Seven's head dropped, and Junpei saw on it a look of sadness, the likes of which he'd never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears, and he'd swallowed hard. His sigh was like the melancholy setting of an old abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke.
Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else.
After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the other man.
It's fine. Don't push yourself. Going by what he said?
Junpei left Seven to pull himself together and instead began thinking everything over.
The children who had been kidnapped 9 years before? Apparently, a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals had been behind it all. They'd taken the children to the same ship we're on now. They'd been brought here for an experiment.
You could say they were cradle robbing.
Seven said it had something to do with controlling human beings. The 16 children who had been kidnapped were the subjects. Seven had said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. I think that's all I got. Oh, and Seven is, or was at some point, a cop. I can't really use any of this information anyway. I didn't learn anything about the Nonary game or Zero. Why were we brought to the same ship where they'd done those experiments 9 years ago? And just what the heck is this about controlling human beings? That's nuts. Did they really conduct an experiment like that?
Before long, Junpei realized he'd spent quite some time deep in
I
thought.
don't have time to just stand here thinking. I need to get moving.
Junpei shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to his investigation, thoughts swirling in his mind. Alright. Oh, hello. I just pushed Waz without thinking about it, and that brought that up. So, we now have a tile. Do we put that in this sink? We said there's a lot of water isn't draining out of the sink. Okay. So... is there a slot on this drawer? It's the only one we haven't opened. Okay. Oh. 14 equals E. Yeah, Junpei really threw me off by saying it was too dark in here to investigate. Turns out we could investigate the whole fucking room. Is that something I'm carrying with me? Yes. Because this has 14 on it. 14 equals E? E. I see. I see. Doesn't see at all. Flush it. Damn it. It kind of pisses me off. I can see it, but I can't touch it. Why the fuck? What the fuck's wrong? I've got you now, string. Now I can pull on it. Huh? There's no flush. Damn. It's too dark to tell. Yeah. It always is, isn't it? So... you know, we got wrong one. We got 4, 7, moon, sun. You know, we got a lot of information right now, right? You know, a lot of information. What do we do with any of it, though? Yeah. It's got a number hint there, too. I think maybe the number was how many times we took a piss? No, it's got to be how many times we flushed. Yes, this all seems highly reasonable. Drawing in the mirror looks like the design on the towel. The design has a river and a spring, right? It's talking about the water in the sink. Yeah. Is there anything on the back of this towel? Okay. Like, does this towel really just exist to give you that hint? Because, like, you know, those were kind of the only things we could really interface with. So, like, you know... this doesn't combine with this, right? Yeah. Do we combine this with either of these? Do we combine the drawers? Okay. There are not many things left to interface with. So I'm left at a it looks like there's something. Huh? Where? Looks like there's something in there. In where? I can't see anything in there. No dice. I can't see anything in there. I mean, you know, like, what do you want from me here, man? Towel it. Put the drawer back in. Sounded like something falling. Oh, of course, we've changed drawers. Of course. Of course, this makes perfect sense. I heard it too. Let's open the drawer. Wonderful. Combine. Okay. Have you taken a closer look at this tile, Junpei? I noticed it has 3 red lines. 3 red lines here are actually on top of the other lines. They are red lines. Yes, correct. They are. It is indeed 14 and 14. Please combine the tiles. Okay. There's nothing in the drawer. Wonderful. We now have 2 tiles. Do we put them both in the sink? Maybe it's the other tile that goes in here. Okay. Okay. Turn the water on. Okay. Can we look under this bed? Okay. Flush it. They probably made it so that someone wouldn't trigger it by mistake if that's the case. Oh, this one flushes? This toilet is disgusting. Flush it again. Second time. Third. 4. I see. So we flush this 7. That was 7 times, correct? Huh? Did you hear something? I heard a loud flushing noise. No, not that. What happened? This toilet is vile. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, so we go flush the other one now? Do you flush? Chances are they made the puzzle so someone triggered it by accident. 3. 4. There it is again. It makes some kind of weird sound when I pull on that string. Same thing happened in the other room. That means... I don't know. Do you think it's a little suspicious that the other room gave us a hint to figure this one out? You're right. The room next door is just like this one, so that leaves the dark room. Fantastic. What's happened in here? Yeah. Can we flush this one now? No. Okay. Is the sink full? No. Can we don't need to shine the light for the hint anymore. Oh, is the drawer open? More tiles! Fantastic news. Well, this drawer opens easily enough. Fantastic. What do we do now that we have even more tiles? So, now that we have 4 entire 14 tiles. Yeah, the red lines. Yes, they do form a 14. You're right, that's true. But what do we do with this information exactly? Do we combine them now? Okay. What do we do with the, what do you want from me, man? What are we supposed to do? Every time I went to interface with something, I'm like, that will reveal to me what we are meant to do with these tiles, only for it to give me yet more tiles. So now... What the fuck do we do with these tiles, dude? There's nothing on this door, right? Well, it looks like we've investigated all the rooms. The only mystery left is that door. Let's crack that mystery then. We've got 4 tiles. And there are a bunch of tiles that are the same size up on the wall here. There are... Place the tiles on the wall with the ones we've got that should open the door. Okay. Great. 14 equals E. So we replace all of the E's with the 14s. I'm a genius. Did you guys just hear something unlock? Does that mean we got it right? Looks like we did. The 14 hidden on the tile. If you convert that to hexadecimal, it's an E. That's where we're going with that? I feel like there was a simpler way to reach that conclusion, because I certainly wasn't thinking about hexadecimals. Basically, the E's and emergence are the 14s from the tile. So if we replace it, that gives up the answer. Do you really care why it worked? Let's just get out of here. Great. Let's go. God, I just kept finding fucking tiles. We did it. Great job, team. I'm saving the game because I'm done playing today, but I just wanted everybody to know that apparently we're entering the torture room next time. Just thought you'd like to know.